Hello, welcome to the Neovim Config. Just for a little bit of background, we've been working on Neovim now for probably about 8+ hours. I deleted my whole config and decided to record this video. Um, I've been working on Lua for probably about a month now and decided I was ready to tackle my Neovim config. So here it is. I've deleted my Neovim that I just created, and we're going to go ahead and start from scratch. First thing we're going to do here is create our init.lua. This is our main file of Neovim. So this first one we're going to create here. We're going to map to a directory that we're going to create after this, and that directory is going to be wooga.core. And then we're going to create a wooga.lazy. This lazy is going to be a file that holds the lazy.nvim. So let's go down here. Let's create our Lua folder. Lua is just the base folder. Our init will always grab everything that's inside Lua. So we put Wooga inside of Lua. Now let's go inside of Wooga and let's create a new directory using lowercase d. Let's call it core. And then we'll do %, and we will create lazy.lua. We're not going to add anything to this file. We'll just write this and save it for the time being. Then let's go back out here. Let's go into core, and we are going to create another init.lua. And remember that any init.lua will just be grabbed and initialized. And then so inside of here, we're going to create two other Lua files inside of the core directory. So let's go ahead and map those. We are going to be mapping wooga.core.keymaps, and then the other file let's call UISet. So let's map require wooga.core.UISet, and these will be the Lua files that we're about to put in this directory. So we'll go back to the core directory. We'll create our keymaps.lua file. Inside of this, we're going to add two lines, one vim.g.mapLeader, and we're going to map the leader key to the space bar so we can use this later. We're actually going to use this right now. Vim.keymap.set, and we are going to do leader PV, and then we're going to map vim.command.ex, and this is to exit back out to that home screen like we've been doing with the ex down at the bottom in the terminal, but now we can do leader PV. So we're going to create UI set, and here we're going to add the numbers to our Neovim on the left side. So let's do vim.op.nu. Nu stands for numbers, and if you need information, you can pull up help space nu or numbers, and this is the help document for Neovim. Everything for Neovim is in there, and I have barely even started reading it. So we'll set that to true, and then we're going to go down here. We'll do shout out. SO is to shout out. That's to update the Neovim. Then we'll do vim.op.relative numbers. And actually, let's look up what the short for relative numbers is, RNU. So let's do this back. RNU equals true. It just shows what line we are on. And then as we move, it shows how many away we are from other lines in the file. Let's hop back out here. Go back into our lazy.lua, and we'll go ahead and get started with that. We will pop over here to the web to the lazy.nvim, and then we will scroll down here to the installation. Let's copy this whole thing. Let's paste it in here, and paste adds the capital M at the end of the line. Let's do Control V, and that looks a lot better. Then let's go down a couple lines, scroll down. We're going to skip that middle part. I think we're going to skip this middle part. Yeah, we're going to skip this. We already have the map.leader key. So let's just go ahead and copy this bottom part down here. And we're going to add something to it. And what we're going to add is we're going to be mapping a directory that holds all of our plugins. So we're about to create this directory after this, and we're going to create it inside of the Wooga directory. So let's go ahead and map this to imports equals Wooga dot plugins. We will leader PV to get back out. We will lowercase d to create plugins. Let's go inside of plugins and let's create our first plugin. We're going to do color scheme.lua. And this is going to be to change the color scheme so we get away from this ugly black and cyan. So let's go over here. Currently I'm using rose pine because that's what I found on the Primogens video, and I need to find something new, just haven't done it yet. Okay, let's go ahead and do capital L lazy sync, and we can see that we've loaded lazy.nvim, but we have not loaded rose pine, but it's picking it up. It sees that it wants it. So let's go back out here into core and into our init lua. Go down, we'll press shift A to go to the end of the line and insert. Then we'll do vim.command color scheme space rose pine. We will write this and we'll shout it out, and there we go. Alright, so let's do lazy sync again, and we see that it's loaded. So let's hop out of here. Let's go back into our plugins. Let's create a new one called Telescope. So Telescope is going to be our file finder. So let's go over here to the Telescope GitHub. We'll scroll down to find the lazy.nvim, and then we're not doing the init lua, we're doing the Telescope file inside the plugins folder. So let's copy and paste that over here. We can see that it's loading. We'll shout it out. Do lazy sync. It's installed. Let's hop over to our key maps file. We'll do edit anyway. Go down here. Now let's make a local variable called built-in. And this is going to hold our telescope built-in functionality. Now that we have that in here, let's go down here. Let's do vim.keymap. Actually, let's go up here, add a comment, say telescope mappings, so we know what this is for. Keymap.set in leader ff for find files, built-in find underscore files. We'll close this off. We'll save it, shout it out, space ff. And here we can search files. So we can search for core, and we can press escape and use our JK to navigate. Hop over to that file. Let's hop out here, do a lazy sync. And everything's up to date. Let's hop into our plugins folder and make a new Lua file called harpoon. And we are going to be installing harpoon, which is a quick way to navigate files. So let's look here, and we're going to be copying this a little bit out of the GitHub, but we're going to have to change it up since we're using lazy and we're not using plug, which is a different plugin manager for Neovim. So let's hop over here. We'll do return, and then we will paste those 2 lines without the word plug over here. We're going to save this, and we can see that our lazy Vim's picking it up. So let's hop out of here and let's do some key maps for our harpoon. Edit anyway, hop down here, Shift A, go down a couple lines. Let's create a local variable harpoon equals require harpoon. We're going to use this so we can set some key maps like we did with the telescope up above. We'll do vim.keymap.set leader A. Then let's create a function here. This is a Lua function. We're just going to do it on one line because it's real short. We'll do require harpoon.mark.add file. We are just doing this copying over from the GitHub, but changing it up a little bit for the lazy Vim. Then let's do vim.keymap.set, Control E, and we are mapping this to open or toggle the quick menu UI that is with Harpoon. We will do YY to copy the line, and we will do P and then P again to paste twice. Then we're going to go down here and change these from E, one of them to J, and one of them to K. And we are going to use these to do nav next or nav previous, which we're still just copying right here out of the GitHub and changing it up a little bit. We can shout this out to save it. And then we can do leader A to add a file. Control E to bring the menu up. Let's go add another file. We'll add our init.lua to the core. And then we can use Control J and K to swap between the files quickly.